Hello from the Music Interview Corner, guys. Today I have a very special metal band for you from Andorra. Today I have Persephone, and I'm here with Bobby. Hi, Bobby.
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. I'm happy to talk to you.
Yeah,
So,
let's go.
my first question is you have a brand new live album. It's called Live in Andorra, and it will be published on December 5th. And when I listened to it, I got the privilege to listen to it already. I felt that it's very difficult to put your music into a genre. How would you describe your music yourself?
The impossible question, you know?
Oh, good.
Because we don't like to put tags on, and names on the music that we do, but we understand that for the listener and for the, media and stuff and press, it's important, to have a tag. Everything is labeled right now, it's like metal. And in metal, you have like many branches and then more branches and more and more. And it's complicated. We know that we do metal. We know, we have a double bass pedal, we have the screams, and we have all these layers, but ah, it's just music. Mm, Progressive metal, spiritual, I don't know, too many things, in my opinion.
Okay, I was just about to ask. You said the roots go really deep. Go they as deep as into the underworld where Persephone lives with Hades?
Maybe this is a really focused way to think about it, but yeah, how would you describe our music? You are the one doing the press and stuff. What labels would you put on the music that we do?
I know that in all the press releases and the info materials, it was labeled as progressive death metal, but I feel it's so much more. You have so much like elements from many more different
Yeah,
metal
there's
genres.
symphonic, there's melodic, there's like orchestral part. Obviously, in this live album, there's a lot of orchestral, which is
Mhm.
so obviously we can put orchestral here. But then we have some post rock metal-ish sounds. That's why I don't like to do that, For me, it's music. I don't listen to genres. I listen to artists that
Mhm.
I like. So I try to just listen to that.
Mhm. That's a very good attitude. And
Yeah.
coming from Andorra, you kind of developed your band outside the classical traditional metal circuits. Do you think that shaped the sound of your band in a special way?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, yes. Maybe not in the beginning, because when you are young and you try to do music, you always, mimic or copy the things that you like, and you are always like dreaming to sound like some bands or trying to, copy their style or their, I don't know, lyrics or, it's complicated, but definitely the band has improved during the years and in every album. And I think the sound and it's very, I don't want to say it myself, but it's very unique. And
It is.
being from Andorra, outside of any kind of scene or touring schedules or live performance, there's nothing happening here in terms of metal, The mountains, obviously, it's very metal, the cold. Yeah, I think the landscape and the way of life in Andorra has helped us defining the band for sure.
And you recorded your album with the National Orchestra of Andorra. Who came up
Yeah,
with the idea to do that?
this is something that we always dreamed to make. Andorra is super small. I think right now we are 85 inhabitants or something like this, but it's super small country. So we know each other. It's easy, to cross the, I don't know, the Cap de Govern, which is like the prime minister just running in the morning. It's like a normal thing, or going to eat the groceries and just cross the culture minister, or you get the point, right? So we got like this conversation many times with the government, like they ask us if we'd like to do this kind of show in Andorra, and it always got delayed over the years. And in 2023, late 2023, they were like, we need to do it now, you know. It's been many, many years since we talk about this, and it's never the year to do it. We knew we wanted to do it in Andorra. We knew even if there's no metal scene, even there if there's no like a classic metal or like rock venue or something like this. It was like the national hall with the national orchestra, something really different from what we are used to. But I think this is what made the night even more interesting for everyone.
Mhm. And did anyone warn the National Orchestra and tell them what a blast beat is before they started doing this with you?
Um, I mean, I don't do that many blast beats, to be honest, but yeah, it was so funny at first because they so used to play with other musicians and stuff like this. But at some point we were joking because we had this, I don't know the name for that in English, but we had this kind of plastic. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but we had like this thing in front of the drum kit to get the sound properly, all the sound from the cymbals and everything, and most of it to take the sound from all the orchestra properly, because the drums are super loud. And the first time I just did just one kick drum, they were like, "Oh, are you playing this loud?" I was like, I didn't play any note yet, like I just want to check. And it was super funny at first. I felt like really weird, but they are amazing musicians. They did it perfectly, and it was super exciting to be there. But yeah, sometimes I was like just looking at them, because I had them on my back, and they were like, smiling, and it was funny. It was funny.
And your music is already very symphonic and cinematic. How did you translate that into an actual orchestra arrangement without losing the intensity of your sound?
Yeah, so Carlos and Mo, guitar player and keyboard and vocals in Persephone, they started the band, and they are huge fans of movies, and orchestras and music from the movies. So they
Mhm.
even have a company where they do music for other people, they do music for video games and they do music for movies and documentaries and a lot of stuff. They know how to use it in different formats. So when we started working on this, obviously it was a 50% work Persephone and 50 with the orchestra. So the director of the orchestra, Albert Gumi, he
Mhm.
was working really hard with Mo to get the perfect, mix between aggressive and a live show and, metal and headbanging and all the finesse and all the delicacy from the orchestra. Since our music is already really orchestral, as you said, sometimes they only did some arrangements, mimic what we already wrote in the albums, and then in some other songs, there's like complete freedom of there's even like way different melodies and stuff.
And were there certain songs that were particularly difficult to adapt for orchestra?
I mean, for us, it wasn't difficult because we played like the songs as they are. But I know that we have this song called "Leap of Faith," which is instrumental song that we never played live because it has so many layers and so many orchestral parts that it was like the perfect occasion to play it with them. And then some other songs like The Great Reality, for example, it doesn't have like a huge orchestral part, but they put some different stuff that I wasn't used to at all. And I think it's super nice to have a different kind of version of the songs. But I don't know if it was super hard for them. At first, I was like, it's gonna be hard, because it's super fast. And they're like, no, this is not fast at all.
Yeah, and you have the song, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but is it Kusanagi?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that song features an orchestral solo where you give the orchestra a spotlight moment. How did you decide where to let the orchestra lead and where the band should dominate?
it's already like in the song, the song has already a heavy orchestral part. This song we played for the first time in many, many years, and obviously for the first time with the orchestra. It's from the album Shinken. It's a third album of Persephone. Now that I think we have 6 albums right now. it's hard, to play songs from the early ages of Persephone. So we wanted to do at least one from that album, and Kusanagi was the perfect excuse because of this orchestral part. So
Mhm.
that's why we put it. And since the show, we only wanted to put it there, but it was so funny to play it again that when we have a long set list, we are still playing Kusanagi, which
Mhm.
feels good, to be back to the third album, actually.
Oh, yeah, and that was also your first major live release with Daniel as a frontman. How did his voice and interpretation reshape classical songs like Spiritual Migration and Living Waves?
Yeah, so Danny has been singing in the band since 2022, but we made it official, I think, last year. I really don't know because making a statement is different from what we are living in the band, Danny has been like already 3 years in the band, and he's part of this project like everyone else. And he already was singing the songs in the previous tours. So I don't think that changed too much. When we recorded the show, I really remember that, okay, this is going to be recorded. We have like one shot. Should we go full and move along, and headbang like crazy, even if it was a seated venue, everyone is sitting and just watching. Or should we try to play good and do not fucked up with the notes and everything? So we try to have this balance. That's the only kind of message that we had clear. Obviously, enjoy this moment because it's just one in a lifetime. I mean, he's been singing for so many gigs right now that I think I'm so used to his voice because I don't listen to the albums. So I'm used to the live performance. So I'm way more used to listen to him live than the previous albums, even if he wasn't there. So
Mhm.
it's hard for me to tell.
No problem. But speaking of live performances, what was for you the most powerful, unforgettable moment on stage that night?
Usually we don't get any stressed, or nervous before a gig, at least myself, and this was terrifying. It wasn't the biggest crowd, it wasn't the nicest stage, or I don't know, the the furthest country, or I don't know how to put it, but it was so stressful. I'm the drummer, I'm behind the kids all the time, so I'm never in the front. And I started the show talking to the crowd, in Catalan, the official language of Andorra, and with the director of the orchestra. And I was shaking like crazy. I was super nervous. And once the show starts, everything is relaxed. And I remember the last song. There's only Mo on stage and the orchestra, and I'm not playing, but I'm just there sitting, and all the other members left the stage. And it was like the first moment in the show to witness what was happening, because in the other parts I'm like super focused and concentrated.
Mhm.
And I remember I was just sitting and I just turned to watch the whole thing, and I started crying like crazy. I was like sobbing, and because it was so beautiful to be there. And for me, that was the best moment of the whole show. The song that I don't play was the most, where I felt like the night mattered and that everything was perfect right there.
When you recorded your album, it was also the celebration of your 20th band anniversary and your first concert in 10 years in Andorra. How did it feel to come home? And did your parents come? Did they finally understand your music or did they only come for the orchestra?
I don't know if it's the 20th anniversary or so, because the first album came in 2024, I think, but the band formed a bit before, so it's complicated. But for us, it felt like a big anniversary and like a big celebration. Not because all the band was there and all the members, but as you said, family was there, close friends were there, and people from Andorra that they don't listen to metal, but they were there understanding what is Persephone, because
Mhm.
they know that we go on tour, they know that we release albums and that we do a video, and they know about that, but they don't know the reality of putting a show. So that was the important thing for us, to try to show them what we were doing in our country,
Mm.
but with the lights, the production, the fancy things, it was beautiful just for that. We had so many people that they never listened to metal there. It was nice just to see like old people there just watching, like okay, I don't understand anything, but it's nice. I teach drums and Carlos he teaches guitar and Philippe and so we have also some students. They only see us when we are teaching, which is completely different. You are teaching, you are like super in a teaching mode, you are like, okay, you need to do that, and then oh no, the grip is not perfect. And then they saw you like working hard and it's completely different, but it was super nice evening, obviously.
Beautiful. Um, and your lyrics explore spiritual awakening. But what was the least spiritual thing that ever happened on tour?
um, the least spiritual, many things. It's so funny to be surrounded with your best friends on tour. I don't know. We were just recently in Australia and in China and Korea, and I don't want to put it spiritual because the question is non-spiritual, but just these moments when you feel complete because you are doing what you like in a place that you never ever imagined being and playing your songs with your friends. This is the moment, when you feel this bliss or this happiness. And then obviously we are goofing around constantly. We are humans. It's not always about spirituality. We do stupid stuff. We joke all the time. We do pranks. So too many to mention, but we care a lot about each other and we also like to punch a little bit and to try to find these moments of laughing all the time.
Cool. Can you tell me what's the craziest thing you and your bandmates have ever done on tour?
Oh,
The craziest prank?
no, no, because it's gonna probably it's our bass player Tony doing some nasty things with his body, which I don't recommend to watch. From the people that know Tony, probably they know where we are going, but every cool thing on tour involves our bass player all the time.
Sounds good. I would love to meet him sometime.
Yeah, oh, he's the best. He's a legend.
And I have some funny questions.
Okay.
Who in your band is most likely to get lost backstage, but not physically, but existentially?
What? Again, ask me the question again.
Okay, yeah, that's a very experimental question, but who in your band is most likely to get lost backstage, but not physically, but existentially? Like having an existential crisis before a concert.
Yes. Mm, I think Philippe, our guitar player. Yeah, he's constantly talking and he's super funny guy. If you don't know him, you would never say he's super funny. He's hilarious all the time. He's constantly talking and making funny things and pranks, and he gets lost in his thoughts. And he needs to smoke, so maybe he's like lost in a nicotine thought and or we are already and he's like 2 minutes, I'm going to smoke. But yeah, I know that it's existential, but he's this kind of person too.
Another funny question, because your lyrics are so philosophical. Which
Okay.
ancient philosopher would have been the best roadie for your band?
Oh, mm,
We can also skip it if you like. I have also
no,
other.
I'm thinking. I mean, probably the Greek school of philosophers. I think they were all super fit and muscle, all the
True.
time in the street talking about their stuff. I like to I like to think that behind these white tunics and stuff, they were like super massive built guys. So Plato, Socrates, whatever you prefer, but yeah, that's a good one.
November 21st and 22nd, you will play at the Metal Fest '09 in France. Can you tell me more about
Mhm.
that?
It's a small festival run by super nice people in a town between Toulouse, big city south of France, and Andorra in a town called Saverdun. And we are headlining the festival. I think it's a 2 days festival with some local bands and a few headliners. It's gonna be the last one of the year for us. Let's see how it goes. It's just in 2 weeks. I know that we are releasing another single before that, and we are also working on doing a premiere on the movie theater here in Andorra of the live album. I just went this morning to the movie theater to watch the video if everything is okay, and we are announcing that in a few days or so. We are like trying to do the poster, but it's gonna be to something different, that maybe it's not easy to do in a major city. And here in Andorra, it's just asking, and they are nice and happy to help. So it's gonna be like a closure to the live album, but it's gonna be cool, I think. Having some popcorn and watching a metal show. Why not?
Yeah, it sounds amazing. And
Yeah.
in the beginning of next year, you're going to play at 70,000 tons of metal. Are you already excited?
This is like the best thing for a band. I don't know if you ever been there.
No,
You've
not
been
on
there
that cruise.
before?
I was on other cruises, but I would love to go one day.
I mean, I don't know about the others, but this one is amazing. We played there, I don't know if 5 years ago or something like this. And it was super, super fun. It was like holidays, it's holidays for a band. You do two shows and you are then chilling, watching other shows, meeting other musicians. We have some friends playing, so it's gonna be fun, being there, I don't know, in a swimming pool, watching whatever band plays and just goofing around. It's super nice.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. Do you want to say anything to your fans before we end this interview?
Yes, but I don't know what I'm gonna think about it. Um, what can I say to them? Not usual. I don't want to tell them to listen to our music. I want to tell them to be nice to everyone, to eat healthy, drink water, eat salad, sleep 8 hours, and and call your mother and grandmother. And that's what I want to say to them. What do you think?
Oh, that's beautiful. I like it.
Okay,
I will
like
try.
for real. It's like I don't listen whatever music you want, try just to be nice. It's way more important to than music, in my opinion.
It's almost Christmas, so it's beautiful that you say that.
You see? Perfect.
And then I wish you all the best for the movie premiere and the album release. And thank you so much for this nice
Thank
interview.
you so much, Katie. It was super nice.